Good evening, everyone. This is retired infantry Lieutenant Colonel Roger Landrum and current businessman. And my mind is spinning today. I'm off for Labor Day, so you're going to have to put up with me for another video here. Why did we lose in Iraq? The key word is ignorance. Notice I didn't say stupidity. Stupidity is the combination of arrogance and ignorance, and I'll let you decide if that is the case. We never should have been there. There was not a reason to be there. And this isn't an armchair quarterback saying this. This is a person who's been over there twice. In 2010, I was embedded with the Iraqis in Al-Qasik, which wound up being ground zero for ISIS. I did not have to be on the ground 2 weeks with my team to know, number one, the Iraqis, who I love, by the way, they love to have fun. I love the Iraqis. Number one, they cared about as much about democracy as I care about women's shoes. Number two, the Iraqis were more of a danger to themselves than they were to others. There was no reason to be in Iraq. They were not a threat to us. It was another CIA failure where there were not weapons of mass destruction. We never should have been there. Contrast this with Desert Storm. Contrast it. I was an infantry company commander with at the time the 3rd ID in Desert Storm. Contrast that. And by the way, it was the 24th ID. It's the 3rd ID now. But we had a defined objective. We had an exit strategy. Now, I can make a pretty good argument that we had no business in Desert Storm either. We've likely, even though fracking started somewhat after that, we likely have had the capability to be independent in our own energy for a long time and may not have even needed to be in that war. But you contrast those two wars. The other thing I noticed when I was there in 2010 is we had no will to win. We had a bunker mentality. We had this fob, get on the fob, protect yourself, can't have a body count, that kind of thing. I actually offered at the time to go out. We knew that ISIS was building up in the area. Iraqis told us when we left, all H was going to break loose, and it's exactly what happened. I actually offered to take teams out and didn't get the opportunity to do so, to take out some of the ISIS folks that were building up in the area. But here's the final thing, and this is Washington, D.C., and it's what really ticks me off, because my son Stephen was hit by an IED in Iraq at a very young age, 18. He wasn't killed. Thank God they weren't real good, and he was in a Bradley fighting vehicle. They weren't real good at building IEDs at that point. They got much better later. Has George W. Bush ever apologized for the thousands of young men lives that he took, American lives in Iraq? Probably tens of thousands of Arab lives. I learned to really love the Iraqis on my second tour there. I was embedded with them. I got to know that culture relatively well. Has he ever apologized? No. Does he do things for veterans? Yeah, he has. But he doesn't apologize, and he never will, because the elites never do. God bless you. I love you. I hope you have a great Labor Day weekend. Roger Lander,